There, I'm going live a little early. Bingo, we're live. Heck, why not? Oh, just came out of Totality in Mexico. Hopefully you're seeing it. You should be, yeah. Ah, yeah. I think I'm okay with that. But big shout out to NASA. They've got lots of telescopes up and down the route, the path. And this one happens to be in, it says in the bottom of the screen down there, Mazatlan, Mexico, or however the hell you pronounce that. Citizen 9, hey, what's going on, man? Didn't have anything else to do, and I thought, what the hell, there's an eclipse going on, even though I can't see it where I am because it's cloudy and raining. Uh, Luckily, NASA's kind enough to put some stuff up here, so hopefully they don't get all mad at me about this. I don't think so. Hello, Judy. Torion, Mexico. Here we go again. Moving a little bit further north. You can, of course, go and watch this over on the NASA feed if you like. And Professor Phil, Armageddon's Fire, Citizen 9, I already said your name, buddy. Uh, Good afternoon. We aren't doing anything. Alan and I are just sitting here watching NASA show us some really cool pictures. Yeah. Yeah. I got really very lucky in 2017. It was an absolute severe clear day, not a cloud in the sky. And we had about a minute and 20 seconds of totality here at my house. It was a marvelous thing to witness. Then I did the stupid thing, and that was not make any arrangements to make any kind of decent recording of it. So, but in a way, I think it's almost more fun just to forget about the cameras and the telescopes and crap and just stand and experience it. There you go. Mm-hmm. Really? How rude. There we go. Now we have the corona. Look at that. That's amazing. Not that bright, guys. Cut it back down a little bit. Doesn't need to be that bright. This thing's got a pretty impressive duration to it. It's the ember must be pretty large because many of these durations, especially on the further south you go, are more like 4 minutes. Wow. Surprises me how fast the thing moves, though. It's only an hour, hour and a half, or something like that to go all the way from Texas border all the way up to where it crosses going out of Maine. Yeah, it's something like that. I don't know where this place is in Mexico exactly. Maybe somebody can look it up. If I wasn't so lazy, I'd look it up, but I'm lazy. Yeah, it is. It's amazing how NASA's able to fake this stuff, isn't it? Yeah. I looked really hard when it happened here, and I never could see that NASA balloon or whatever it was that they parked in front of the sun. I just couldn't see it. Is that what it is? I don't know. Yeah. Say hello to everybody out there in the chat. I didn't expect to see this many people show up on the spur of the moment. I really had no plans of doing this. I just on the spur of the moment, I thought, what the heck? I'm not doing anything else. Might as well sit around and watch NASA TV and share it with some folks. Hey, JSS Tiger for $20. Thank you, sir. I'm here in Ohio, just north of Columbus. Got my glasses and ready to go. And I think the last I saw of your weather up there, you're probably going to get a pretty good look at it. The cloudy bits are mostly back down in Texas. I think a lot of them are going to have some issues with seeing it, but Yeah, I think so. Yes, it is. Anybody wants to join us in Discord, feel free. Uh, can you post a link, Alan? Tusk, Tusk says eclipses are the devil. I know I'm not. Here we go. Junction, Texas, seeing nothing. Hmm. Ah, here we go. Back to the other Texas. All right, Arkansas. Really? Let me work on that. Why would that be? Oh, well, this might be it. That's right, Ellen.
Can they hear me now?
Now they can. That was my fault. I haven't streamed in so long, I forgot which all buttons I need to push. So there's Junction, Texas. Got another good few minutes to go, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're getting lots of broken cloud cover out in that part of the country. It would certainly be nice if the flat earthers would take this opportunity to explain to us exactly how the hell this happens, what their idea is. What would possibly make it work this way on their pizza earth? I don't think it does.
Oh, there's nothing on the Fleur thing that can make it happen.
Let's see who else we got out here. Try to keep an eye on the chat. Angry Doggies out there. Thomas Curtis. The flatties are saying you're stupid for thinking looking up determines what we're living on. Yeah, we've heard them say that. And what are the odds of the two objects in the skies being the same size in appearance? Well, I'd say the odds are pretty damn good. And Brian Stevens says 5 by 5, Alan, so they're hearing you. Hey,
Good.
Stephen Mudd, let's wait for the flat earthers to explain the eclipse. Going to be hilarious. Yes, always.
Nibiru. That's it.
Yeah.
That's I'm sure that's what they claim. Oh, excuse me.
Tris Tucker says good opportunity to do some precision geometry with multiple cameras and timing. Yes, it is, Tris. He says, just don't ask me to do the calculations. Yeah, I don't think I want to be doing that either, Tris. And Thor KC says it's hilarious watching Flurf's minds collectively boggle at how it might be possible to predict the path of totality. I mean, not just predict the path of totality, predict it to the second.
Yeah, and not just and the path. And when we're talking about predicting the path to within a meter or two.
Yeah.
Oh.
Danny Zuko says solid overcast in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Yeah, pretty much that way here in Knoxville too, Danny.
Yeah.
Judy wants to know if there's going to be any goalpost moving tomorrow. Why should tomorrow be any different than any other day, Judy? I mean, honestly.
I thought the Flurfs had the goalposts motorized already anyway.
Yeah. Getting really close to totality in Kerrville, Texas now. Really close.
Yeah, I could.
There we go.
If it had been a little earlier in the day and clearer, I might well have broken out my homemade solar observing device. It's a 1.5 meter long pinhole telescope.
Yeah. Those work pretty good.
Yeah. I actually built it for the last time we had a partial solar eclipse. Got a couple of halfway decent photographs of the sun on the inbuilt screen, which wasn't as good as I was hoping to, because I couldn't get any decent quality tracing paper at the short notice I had for building it.
Yeah.
So in the end, I had to use baking parchment.
Heads wants to know if this was predicted by the dearth application. Don't quote me on this, Heads, but I don't think dearth's application can predict what happened yesterday, much less what's going to happen 10 minutes from now. Back in a sec.
Yeah. See, look, has had exactly the same problem in '99 in Cornwall as I did in Cornwall. It clouded over for the actual eclipse.
So, yeah, looking good in Dallas. Hey, Professor Phil says has to wait 4 years in Australia. I guess that's when his next one is. Yeah, I think around 3 o'clock or so, where I am is it's going to be about 90%, I think. But with its cloud cover, it's going to be hard to tell whether it's the eclipse or just the clouds. Okay, NASA, let's get moving here. I don't think anything's happened. Oh, here we go. Starting to come back out of totality and Kerbal.
Oh, apparently OTL are covering the eclipse as well.
Are they?
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently, Bebby's stuck a post in one of the silly channels.
Well, somebody ought to drive by over there and tell them it's just a light in the sky. Don't worry about it. How sick and twisted do you have to be a guy like Bev at, at a point where you can't even call a star, or the sun, or the moon, the moon? You've got to call them lights in the sky.
Oh, but
I mean, how would you
but
like
but we all know what
how would you like to go through life with your mind that messed up?
I wouldn't.
No.
And I honestly don't understand how they can get their minds that messed up. Anyway, welcome, Butts.
Hello, Butts. You aren't muted or anything, so you ought to be okay to go.
and unless, of course, he's accidentally muted himself on his end on his
Yeah,
microphone, because we all do that, don't we?
it does happen from time to time. I got multiple ways of muting myself. One is this button on the side of the mic, but as long as I've got my headphones on, I can tell.
Ah. When I'm wearing headphones, I do not have my mic hooked back through them. I can't do the listening to myself bit.
Here's Dallas.
Yeah, not being able to tech is still allowed, even even for sensible people. Not being able to tech, not being able to do tech right is yeah. We won't hold it against you.
82 people watching. That's great. Thanks for showing up, everybody, on the spur of the moment. Saw NASA had this thing going on, so I thought, what the heck? Let's do a stream and why, help them watch.
Oh,
So,
that looks like a Fleur photographing something through a P900.
no, it's not nearly fuzzy enough.
Ah, there we go.
Now, to heads in the chat, no, I'm nowhere near the path of totality. Uh, it was going to be a 5-hour drive for me, and with dicey weather, I decided I didn't want to take a chance. Stuart Jeffrey, hello. I think Professor Rob Parks is up in Indianapolis doing it. I don't know if he's streaming or not, though.
I'm guessing it'll be a little while before it gets to Indianapolis, won't it? If I if I remember rightly, that's kind of at the top end of your country.
No, it's almost dead center.
Ah,
Well, not dead center, but it's Indianapolis is about 3 hours south of Lake Michigan. Something like that.
yeah, that's still that's three. You have to remember, 3 hours driving in the US and 3 hours driving here are two very different things.
Yeah.
What is that they say? 100 miles and 100 years. Two very different things in the UK and US.
Yes, sir. That's a fact. Professor Phil says you can see the solar flares. Yes, you can, can't you? See one up there on the upper right, I think.
Yeah.
Here we go. Coming out of Totality in Dallas now. When he gets up in Arkansas, that's getting close to about as close as it's going to get to me, roughly. Crosses sort of along the western border of Tennessee. Dr. Nimrod said Professor Parks is eating Lay's potato chips and staring at the sky.
We don't get Lay's over here. I believe we're the only country in the world that doesn't get Lay's crisps. They're called Walkers in the UK. Stuart Jeffrey, there's going to be one in the south west, so Cornwall again, in 2090. So 91 years after the last one.
I'm going to step out for a moment and see if I can see anything out there. I don't think so, but I'm going to go check.
Rodent, no last name. If you do, you'll deserve it.
Well, I can just barely see it through the clouds.
The clouds can actually make a really useful solar filter at times, though, can't they?
Oh, yeah. Let me see if I can download some pictures. Maybe.
Russellville, AR. What state's AR? Blue.
Arkansas. Russellville, Arkansas. That's what I can see.
Yeah.
It'll pop
Where's
up
that?
in a second.
Oh.
That's what I can see right now. Are you seeing it, Alan? You should be.
Yeah, I can see it now.
Turn this thing off. Yeah. That's a much better picture.
It's still CGI.
Some big flares on that one. Yeah, it's just too much cloud cover around here. If I stood out there, it's raining right now, so I'm not going to stand out there. But yeah, if it weren't raining and I stood there long enough, I might catch a thin spot in the clouds and get a decent picture.
I think if we hadn't have had sun when I went, if we hadn't have had cloud when I went down to Falmouth in '99, I think the Flirts would have still claimed CGI for any of the photos I'd taken.
Oh, sure.
Even though I would have been taking them on Ektachrome.
Yeah.
But then anything taken on Ektachrome is CGI, isn't it?
They seem to think so. I, for the life of me, can't figure out how that could be. But wonder how they think all these people that got lucky enough to situate telescopes right in this path.
Yeah. And how we knew that it was going to happen to the second, years and years in advance.
Yeah. It's amazing. So Carbondale, Illinois, I'm not real sure where that is.
I know. At least I know where Illinois is. That's kind of up on the northern border, isn't it? Up in the middle a bit near the big lakes.
Yeah.
With that, with the Windy City.
Yep, Chicago is there. Gotta find Carbondale, Illinois right now. Oh, there it is. That is way down in the south, uh, very southern tip of Illinois. About not too far from Paducah, Kentucky. Let me move this thing out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, 60 miles
Mike, I
from.
used to develop my own Ektachrome as well. So yeah, been there, done that.
Yeah, me
No
too.
computers involved. Dr. Nimrod. I know where all the states are. They're in the USA, and two sort of aren't. Yeah, you could kind of say that, couldn't you? Actually, I was thinking about a certain person's claims of an eclipse every month. And I suppose you could get an eclipse every month if you had a long enough ladder.
You think?
Well, I'm sure. I'm sure if you could get up high enough, you could get yourself into the into the shadow.
From someplace, yeah, I suppose, sure.
Like I said, might need to be a very, very long ladder.
There's a pretty good technical reason for why it can only happen during the quote eclipse seasons. Here we go, Carbondale.
Oh, Mojo Bago one says, no chance with the super ladders, can't get the insurance. Oh, that's a nice one.
Yeah, it is. That's beautiful. Yeah, it's gotten relatively dark around here, and it's only 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't think this is the cloud cover. I think about 90% of the sunlight is being blocked right now.
It's got pretty dark here now, given that it's 8 o'clock at night.
Oh, yeah. Eight o'clock at night, and it's only early April for you, so yeah. It's dark at my house right now like it would be at, 30 minutes before sundown. Or maybe just after sundown. Professor Phil says, okay, I've seen it. Now I'm ready to be raptured. Yeah, Shadow Falcon, you can sort of see the asymmetry of it. Mojo Bag 01 says, so how big are those plumes? Well, the diameter of that thing is about 860,000 miles, I think. So make a guess. Many thousands of miles. Much bigger than the diameter of the Earth, I think. Yeah, Mark Beiser just said that. Yeah, bigger than Earth. TP Seeker says Overlook Horizon is streaming his high altitude weather balloon launch live. Cool.
Oh, and apparently it's only 4 foot wide because it's close and local. Thanks, Dr. Nimrod.
So this is Carbondale coming out of Totality now. I wonder where they're going to next with it. No, Indy. Now let's see, Carbondale to Indianapolis is, give or take, about 220 miles.
And there's Indianapolis, Indiana.
Yep. So it covers that 220 miles in not a lot of minutes.
Indeed.
That's great. This should mean that Professor Parks is able to get some good pictures.
One would hope so.
This is the magic part right here. Oh, yeah. Ball State University. Good old Ball U.
Oh, just a comment to Has on remembering U.S. state capitals, Indiana and Indianapolis. The other one that I can usually remember that I think is correct is Omaha, Nebraska.
Fantastic. NASA's done a great job of getting a bunch of people linked up. Yeah. You see a nice flare down there on the lower right hand.
Down at 5 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
That is one big solar prominence, isn't it?
Yeah. Nice reddish one over there at about 2:30.
Yeah.
Whoops. Oh, they're getting a great view of it in Indy.
Good.
It was cloudy earlier this morning. I was watching the weather. Not bad cloudy, but occasional cloud cover. And now it ends. Let's see. I wonder where they're going to next. Track's up near Cleveland. I know that. Ah. What do you know? Cleveland. So as the eclipse flies, Indy to Cleveland is also about 260 miles. These things really move rapidly. Reds are streaming from Buffalo. Cool. I'll just check, see what else is going on.
I thought I'd just stick the Discord link in the chat again if anybody does want to come and join us.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. All are welcome. Jump in. Hey, Real. Hey, Wally. Wally says the ISS is just about to cross the west coast and will track just north of the Great Lakes. So they should get a nice view. Yeah, they should.
Now, Butts, have you managed to sort your audio out?
I do hope so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Do you have any
Okay.
cool explanation for what keeps gobbling up the sun and then spitting it back out?
Spaghetti monster. Although I cannot tech, I am not a flat earther.
I didn't think so.
Hi, Blue. Alan, how you doing?
Hello, Joe.
Oh, hi, Joe.
Hello, Joe.
How you doing, Butts? I don't know. The world was supposed to end a few minutes ago. What the hell happened?
We obviously didn't get raptured, so we're the ones that are gonna suffer, I guess.
Maybe they took all the flat earthers with them.
You will be raptured out of the simulation we live in.
Just as long as I'm quite happy for them to take the flat earthers, just as long as they don't take the telephone sanitizers with.
Hey, maybe we got lucky. Maybe Mark Steele went poof.
Well, nothing against him getting raptured.
No.
That would put that guy. It would put what's his name out of a job. Because all the videos about him. What's his name? He's one of your blokes.
I know. Yeah, I know. I was watching one of his videos earlier, but I can't remember the channel name.
Mind of Steel. I just can't think of his name.
I know. You can usually find the link somewhere over on MC Toons.
Yeah, I know. MC Toon knows. Oh, what's his name? Oh, okay. Well,
hang on,
drawing a blank.
Let me open another tab.
Raynard Wilson.
That's the one.
Yep. I knew it was in there somewhere. It took a while for it to come out.
Mind of Steel.
Yes, with the hand framing. I love it.
Yes, it seems that Mr. Steele's latest is wanting his local MP arrested.
Yeah, I saw that.
Hey, Rob.
It was pretty much of a bust here. It's cloudy, and we were only getting like 70%. So got a little dark here, but that was about it.
Yeah, it's got a little dark here, but that's more to do with the fact that the
Yeah, it's
ground
after 8
has got in
o'clock.
the way of the sun.
Yeah,
That damn curvature.
it does that every damn day, doesn't it?
It does indeed.
I have to look
Yeah, I
into
didn't
that.
get so lucky. And I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I just wanted to say I didn't get so lucky in 1999. We were a few friends trying to watch the solar eclipse in Germany, and yeah, it was totally overcast a few minutes before everything went dark, and we just felt that strange kind of wind gushing up, and it was fascinating. After that, we got just hammered.
Yeah, it's a near magical sort of experience, I think.
Hammered by the weather or hammered by some alcohol?
Oh well.
Or both.
Or both? I was dumb on Saturday. I'm usually dumb, but I was extra dumb on Saturday. I was playing in a golf tournament. It was 38 degrees, 40-mile-an-hour winds, and sleet.
Jesus.
Not exactly good weather for golf there, Blue.
I have never needed to play golf bad enough to want to play in that weather.
Yeah, well, it wasn't supposed to be that way. It's just sort of happened.
You said 38 degrees, and I thought, bloody hell, that was hot. And then I remembered that you're American.
Yeah, freedom units, Alan. Come on. Get with the program.
I pretty much had a hard limit of 40 degrees when I played. When it went below that, to hell with it.
Yeah, well, the great thing was, as I had predicted to the people I was playing with, as soon as the tournament was done, it was going to be sunny and 50, and that's what happened. Oh my God. Golf gods, they're tough, Blue.
Yeah, I
They
know.
like to screw around with you.
I know. Even at 40 degrees, golf balls turn into little rocks.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't feel my feet or my hands, so it was kind of hard to play, but I managed to get through it. Ended up ninth at a 24.
Oh, gosh, yeah. At 40 degrees, if you miss hit the ball just a little bit, it stings.
What's 40 degrees in proper units?
Like 3.
About 4, yeah.
Well, when I take over the world, Blue, everyone's going to use freedom units.
I think our old system of using centigrade when it was cold temperatures and Fahrenheit for hot temperatures is actually quite good, because it's the only way we get good. It's the only way we get a good range of numbers in the UK.
Sort of cheating, but yeah, I guess it works.
You know, I mean, when it's cold, you want it to be like 0, don't you? When it's hot, you want it to be like 100.
Makes sense.
Having been in engineering all my life, metric system doesn't bother me at all. I'm very comfortable with it, with one exception, and that's temperature. I still have a hard time relating to 15 degrees C.
Well, remember Blue, when they were going to try to convert the U.S. to metric system?
Oh, they've been trying that for 50
Yeah,
goddamn
and
years.
baseball stadiums used to put the metric number under the yard, under the feet.
Yep.
And that lasted about a season.
Uh-huh.
No one paid any attention to that.
Not a bit.
Well, Joe, the British military converted all of their rifle ranges to meters.
Well, I got news for you, Alan. You know, you British, you got everything confused. You have miles, You have leaders. I mean, get with pick one or the other.
But you know how they converted all the rifle ranges, all the military rifle ranges in Britain from yards to meters, don't you?
I have no. They divide it by 3.
No, they just painted over the bit that said YD after the number and painted an M on it instead. So a friend of mine, after he'd come back from the Second Gulf War, he'd acquired a set of American laser rangefinders while he was away, and he was at the rifle range one day. He'd come back and he said, "I don't understand." He said, "I was on the 600-meter firing point at Thetford, and it was only like 575 yards, 575 meters." I mean, yeah, that's because when they converted it, they didn't actually make the range any longer.
Oh,
They
that three inches every
couldn't
time adds up.
They couldn't make it any longer, because if it had been, the 600-meter firing point would have been in the middle of the main Norwich to London.
Doesn't that have to do anything with the 0 point? What's that again? I'm sorry, I'm just lost for words now. Britain got the 0 meridian from France. It would have been in France, but Britain got it. But Britain had to convert to meters and the metric system from then on, and they still haven't managed to do it.
I don't think so, because the prime meridian was set in the later 1800s, and I think one of the reasons that it went to London was because we had the best nautical charts in the world as well at the time.
Might be that, or might be, I don't know really, but I've heard stories about just it would have been in France, but Britain got it. It was Greenwich Village, and they had to convert to meters then, and they still haven't managed it.
Well, we are metric for everything apart. We are metric distances for everything apart from distances on roads.
Yep, still have miles per hour.
Yeah, and miles per hour. So you have to use Imperial for signposts on the roads. But when you're putting your kitchen cabinets in, they're all 600 mil wide.
Well, that's
It's a
convenient.
shame. It's a shame, Alan, that the British used to be the best in everything. Now you're just the best in tea and football leagues.
Well, we have a lot of those.
And we've got Jurgen Klopp.
Well, not for long. He's retiring.
Oh,
I'm not a Liverpool fan, but I like Klopp. He's a pretty cool guy, I must say.
It was the local East Anglian derby this weekend as well, just gone.
Yes.
Norwich played Ipswich. The result did at Norwich. The result did not go the right way for this part of the world.
The Canaries failed again.
The Canaries failed again. Yes.
Real canaries in the coal mine. Norwich.
Yeah,
wow,
I
look
don't
at that.
know where that comes from. The Canaries bit for Norwich City.
Deny that view, Flurfus.
When did Norwich last beat Ipswich? I have no idea. I do not follow football.
Ipswich Town.
Norwich, Connecticut. Yeah, I'm about 20 miles from Norwich, Norfolk. Good evening, Mr. Clive Wells. Sorry, Dr. Clive Wells.
There he is. Yeah. Well, this thing is tracking toward Holton, Maine, and I think that's probably going to be the last one we see. Because very shortly after that, it ends up over the Atlantic Ocean.
What are the flat earthers saying, Blue? What are the flat earthers saying? What's their explanation?
Don't know. I keep trying to get one. They don't seem to have a. This falls in their catch-all shit happens bucket.
Not the Nibiru, the mysterious 10th planet or whatever it's supposed to be.
Well, that's the one I keep suggesting, but I'm not quite sure.
There was a little. I was watching that Star Trek movie, Something in the Darkness, the reboot of On, and the opening scene is on a planet called Nibiru.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A nice little joke there. For all the flat earthers out there.
That's where they got Sherlock Holmes to play Carnelian Singh, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch. Did a good job. Although he's no Ricardo Montalban, but he did a good job.
Yeah.
Just a few years ago, it was Rahu and Yuhu or whatever was the Dark Sun or something. That's what they were saying a few years ago.
Oh, yeah. That's the ancient Egyptian ones, isn't it?
Well, it's got to be anything but reality for those people.
I mean, last thing they could say is look at the logo up there on the right. It's all fake. That's what they're going to say.
They think everything's CGI even before there was computers.
Oh, yeah.
How'd that work? You still got it somewhere. Life magazine cover of the Apollo 8. There were no computers. Well, not like we have today. Back in the day, maybe out of a computer lab somewhere. But
yeah, I mean, I know I shouldn't say this. I know I could certainly couldn't do it. I know I had the technical understanding that I could probably have faked all of the photos that NASA did for the Apollo program onto film. But my God, would it take a while to do? Probably five times longer than the entirety of the Apollo program.
Well, you blew it, Alan. There goes your monthly NASA stipend.
It was possible to do it on film, but you'd need teams of thousands of experts and far too much time.
You probably would have needed to use, as you call them, valves for all the electronics.
Certainly for some of it.
Yeah. And of course, the bit that gets me is when you go to the March to the Moon website and you start scrolling through all those scans of that 70mm film. The number of bad frames they took that they also faked. I mean, talk about faking the bad frames to go with it.
That's the genius of NASA.
Yeah, that was pretty genius, really. Mix in all those really terrible shots.
What do you think, Blue? You think they're going to still be flat earthers in 20 years from now when we actually have people walking around on the moon all the time?
I don't see anything that's ever going to stop them.
Yeah, their grandkids will be on the moon, but they'll say the Earth is flat.
Man, all the time you say stuff like this, I really have to fight not getting too depressed.
Well, I mean,
Hey,
unfortunately,
I guess the good news is it's only a scant handful of people that really think this.
I hope so.
I mean, the internet is wonderful and it really helps everybody communicate. Unfortunately, it also allows the villages to communicate.
Yeah, people can find each other now very easily. We used to have to go into the dark corners of an alleyway in a big city to find some of these people.
Oh yeah, from the beginning of time, there's always been that one idiot standing on the street corner with a sandwich board that says Jesus is coming, or whatever.
Paint, and the end is near.
Yeah, the end is near. Exactly. So those types are never going to go away. I had a crazy uncle by marriage, and I never will forget this. I don't think I ever heard my dad laugh as hard. This would have been back in about the late 50s, and he wisely proclaimed one day that at a holiday family gathering that there was a brand new device that had been invented that was going to make the electric motor obsolete. Let that sink in for a minute.
Well, I hate to admit it, but I had an aunt who she said, "I'm not very certain about many things, but I'm certain about two things. Men never went to the moon, and pro wrestling is real." She was a pisser. She was. Other than that, she was perfect.
Well, let's see if NASA's going to go anywhere else. I don't think so. Holton, Maine is way up on the northeast coast of Maine.
This is so beautiful, really. I'm just staring at it.
Yeah.
Well, you can stare at it on the internet, and not ruin your eyeballs.
That's right.
Yeah. And without flying to the States.
Well, it has become definitely noticeably more daylight outside now. Again, that could be the cloud cover. Who knows? But I'm betting it's to do with what we're watching on the NASA feed.
It's brighter. It's brighter here too, Blue. We only were getting 70%.
Yeah, they said
Sky definitely went. Yeah, the sky went dark. You could see now. You can see the blue sky in between the clouds.
Yeah, I think we got about 90% here. But 10% of bright sunlight is still a hell of a lot of light.
Yeah.
It is.
We'll have to meet for the next one. When's that happening? How many years from now?
I
In
don't know.
Germany, I'll be long dead.
I think I will be too.
I believe there's one that goes through the Channel Islands next year. The year, no, 2026. But the next one in the UK is 2090.
Oh, well,
So
I don't think I'll make that one, Alan. I don't know about you, but
well, I'd have to be 126.
I think 2090 is a little out of my reach unless I get one of those android bodies from Star Trek, like Luke Picard.
I like to be a human head, like in Futurama.
Ah,
We
yes.
already have one of them, Mr. 42.
You're right.
Yeah, now they're replaying it going away.
I've just looked at a comment by Voxelvoid. In 200 years from now, people will start terraforming Mars, and flat earthers will still say space is fake. I don't think we can terraform Mars. It's too light. It cannot hold an atmosphere, as far as I know. So, density of whatever gases there is of that air is about like on Earth in about 48 kilometers of height. I don't think it can hold more of an atmosphere because it's not heavy enough. There's not enough gravity.
No.
Don't be
Or
so negative.
up
Don't
and
be so
down,
negative,
up-and-downity.
Butts.
Come on.
I thought you Germans were all happy people. Come on.
Well, from what I understood, that it could hold significantly more than it has right now. It just can't hold as much as we have. The only reason it can't hold as much right now, it doesn't have a magnetic field.
That's right.
And they talked about putting a satellite between the Mars and the sun with to generate a magnetic field on that satellite, just to block the solar wind from hitting it.
Yeah, there's no magnetosphere, so that lets the solar wind just strip any atmosphere it has away.
So the sun farts off the atmosphere of Mars, right?
That's one way of putting it. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to see that in any of the school textbooks, but phrased that way. But sure.
Make it simple, right?
Well, I think that was pretty much it for the eclipse.
Was it
today.
everything you hoped it would be, Blue?
Yes, absolutely.
That's good.
Absolutely. That was worth it.
I hadn't seen one since I was, I've only seen one solar eclipse. That was when I was 13. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, I saw an annular eclipse back in the 1983, I think it was. And then I saw this one up here in 2017. It went over my house. So I got to experience totality for about a minute and 20 seconds. Right out there on the back deck. It was nice though. Well, I'm gonna say goodbye to the YouTube folks. Thanks for showing up, everybody. Be sure to thank NASA for doing such a wonderful job. And with
Send your
that,
checks in.
Yep, got to do that. We need our paychecks, so you guys
That's right.
contribute to NASA, or we don't get our money. Anyway, we'll end the stream now, and everybody just hang around in here. Well, this isn't going away. See you later, folks.
Bye.